Welcome to Cinematalkraphy. We watch movies with you so you don't have to.
Welcome to Cinematography. I'm your host, Roberto Vegas, joined by...
Brandt Hughes is my name.
It is your name. And today...
Say my name. You're goddamn right.
Does the... what was the line? What is it? He said, when I'm the one who knocks or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember the damn quote for that whole thing. We're actually going to comment over the 2011 Alamo Drafthouse film, The FP.
Yep. That's the name. Don't wear it out.
Look, I'm just excited we're doing this movie. It's an hour and 23 minutes and 19 seconds, and we are watching the Netflix copy. So if you want to catch this with us, log on to Netflix, hit play. Brent, why don't you count us down?
Beep. Beep. Well, you ruined the sync point. Like, I have to sync it up in post.
All right. Fuck it. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I'm gonna have to sync it up with a different thing.
Yeah. I got it. Okay.
Okay.
Here you go. Okay.
Beep.
Oh,
No.
God damn it.
Gotta wait on the third beep.
Okay. What?
Scold.
Okay. Why can't you rewind? No. Piece of shit. This is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Try again.
All right. Third one.
Okay.
No! I'll never play BP Revelation again!
There we go. So when's the last time you saw the FP?
Oh boy.
Maybe it's more.
Probably a year or two ago.
Maybe the more important question is, when's the first time you saw the FP, and how did you actually get introduced to this movie?
Probably a year or two ago. Yeah, it was last year because this was during my great movie purge of 2013.
The Great Movie Purge.
Yeah, it was a time where my job was strictly pretty much just do the touring stage manager stuff.
Right.
And whenever we didn't have that to do, I didn't have a whole lot to work on. So I found myself with a lot of downtime, and I watched a lot of movies.
It was a great movie purge when I've watched everything that ever was made in the past 10 to 20 years.
I think I watched like a couple hundred movies last year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, I watched through a lot of movies, especially on Netflix.
That's fair.
And that's how I found this. I just saw it on Netflix, and I saw weird mixed reviews, and I was like, well, I'm going to watch this now.
I had gotten wise to this because A, the Draft House would have trailers for it all the time. B, I would see the poster for this movie, which is probably the most epic poster ever designed in the Draft House theaters. And I think I had actually rented this on Amazon at first before it came on Netflix.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is
already with the incredible dialogue.
Oh, we're not even at the dialogue that matters yet. Like, there is this movie is like, I think the greatest part of this movie is that this came out of somebody's head. And that somebody, I think, is actually Jatro, or the guy that plays Jatro. I think he's the writer, director, whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter that this came out of somebody's head, one. Oh, God.
I mean, that's one way to put it, sure.
Well, because what's cool about the FP, and a lot of people who see this movie, it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very, very silly and everything else like that. But what I love about it is that it, much like a lot of these movies that do this, it really has a love for it.
You got the splits, dog.
We're not. I am waiting because, like, the thing is that before this movie begins, like, if you are coming as cold,
as I did,
you came as completely cold.
Yep.
Oh my God!
I just saw the title and I saw the poster and I said, "Well, I'm gonna watch this now."
I hadn't
heard about it before. So.
Who's that bitch? I love what's his fucking name? I forgot the Asian guy's name. The character.
Racist. So coming into this,
yes,
you kind of. I think I went into it with sort of the expectation that it was going to be kind of lighthearted, humorous, sort of weird kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can tell this is definitely a movie that will divide audiences.
Oh yes, most definitely. Well, because there's a lot of those people who kind of come into a like, okay, because obviously this is really using a lot of the 80s kind of cheesy movie tropes, like
Right.
to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who come into movies that are quote unquote bad kind of get mad when there's movies that make fun of that or that utilize that and use it as only shtick. For me, I had known about the FP for a while, and I knew kind of what it was going to be. I had just no idea it was going to be this much. And for me, I think it was essentially, it's coming up soon in the scene here, but where he goes, I will never play Beat Revelation again. Like that whole scene, like just solidified what kind of movie I was getting myself into. But
Yeah.
even at the very beginning of this movie, they do the whole, they set up like the scene like it's freaking Conan, where they have this like the FP, Fraser Park. Like they go into this like epic backstory kind of thing. That is so like it felt like I didn't know what I was gonna get myself into a little bit. Like I didn't realize it was science fiction, I realized it was post-apocalyptic or some weird thing like that. And KCDC, that's the character's name.
Yeah.
And I could never really tell, but this is probably has got to have been the point in the movie for you, Brandt, that you might have completely lost it because you had not seen like you had kind of saw the poster, but you'd never saw like this part right here.
Right. I was very confused. I didn't know what was happening or why. And then I think this scene does a pretty good job of informing you of what their mission statement for this movie is.
Yes.
And I remember thinking that like once I saw it, I was like, okay, I get it. And then I was posed with the contemplation of whether I should continue or not, whether I was up for this adventure.
Yes.
And kind of through indifference, I just sort of decided, well, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna sit down and enjoy this, and I'm just gonna let whatever's gonna happen. So
that's sort of the thing. And fun fact, I really, really hope. I think the actual thing powering Beat Revelation, I think it might actually be Stepmania, which is a last I checked, an open source project online to do essentially. I think it's technically called simulation because emulation requires something else of DDR.
I thought they were just playing frog fractions.
They might be,
No.
for all I know. When's the last time you played Dance Dance Revolution?
Never.
You've never played DDR?
Nope. Not
Wow.
once in my life.
I think I played about a year ago DDR. I am on and off on this game for sure. This was the thing I knew about coming in was that there was this sort of DDR element into it, and I was I was super excited for the idea of a post-apocalyptic world being ruled by a DDR game because it just seemed like such a bizarre thing for me.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how this is basically the campy version of Brick in a way. With the evolution of their vernacular.
And I think that's why what I enjoy about this movie is that it wears what it is on its sleeve,
Yeah.
It doesn't try to be anything else. It doesn't fake it. Like it's and some people get annoyed by that for sure because, it's that whole mentality of a bad movie is a good movie and that kind of thing. But what I really dig about this movie a lot is that it has a lot of that heart to it. Like it doesn't feel fake, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how it's this sort of, they've built up this world where they say, we can have this really intense, high stakes DDR dance off, and that can kill somebody. Somebody can die from this competition.
Yes.
And they're just like, oh, that's a great idea. Like, no other movie would do that,
No.
so why don't we just do that? There's no reason we can't do that.
That's what I love. Well, that's what I love. It's again, a lot of these are '80s tropes, like the idea of the brother. I guess it's his older brother. I forget the age difference between Jatro and Betro. Just saying the names.
Yeah, the names are amazing.
J-Tro, B-Tro, LWE, KCDC.
So ridiculous.
Oh, here it is. The new mode. I love this too. Omega Gangsta mode. That's probably my favorite part about this entire thing is that that's what gets crazy is that the game declares Omega Gangsta mode, and then that's the crazy part. That this is like that's something new and exciting. Like somehow we've unlocked. That's the thing I want so badly out of this game. I mean, not this game, out of this movie. I want that game to be real, and I want there to be cabinets for it. I want some. Look, if anybody out there knows of somebody that's retrofitted their DDR machine or those Stepmania machines that were out there for like 5 seconds, and has retrofitted it to be Beat Revelation, please let us know, because I will buy that from you for way too much money.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I like about the film is just the fact that it pretty much knows that, because again, that's a very classic trope, the idea of the sibling dying in combat, and then that it's the brothers turn to train and come back from everything
And reap the revenge.
and exactly. Well, you look at that, and it's just like
Whack.
like, and it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
Because it's like, what is he dying from?
And then the countdown.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Because
Like,
he's not dead yet.
Nope.
He could get back into it.
Well, he hasn't been 187 yet. Like, the idea that this is like, that this is freaking Apollo Creed in Rocky 3. Was it? Yeah, it was Rocky 3. No. Apollo Creed Rocky 4. Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed. That's what it was.
I always felt like this was the kind of movie I would have made if I was given a budget in high school.
It's a good. I mean, it's one of those movies I think I would have made if I was given a budget of some sort, because it's such a I think that's why I dig about it a lot, is that it has a lot of these sort of very much I'm just because there's the moment when he just screams up to the heavens. Because nothing, it's never certain things are never explained. Like, it's never explained why J-Tro has an eye patch.
Right.
By the way, I just noticed it recently, about 5 minutes ago. There was a guy with an arrow pointing down to his cock.
Oh, really?
In the background. He's right there, I think. Like, if they zoomed out, you would see the arrow just pointing down to his penis.
That's funny.
Here it is. Just the way that he looks up to the heavens and says that. Imagine being in that scene. I've got to imagine that the hardest thing of this shoot had to be just keeping your everything straight.
Yeah.
Because, I would have lost it 5 times in this movie.
Yeah, I imagine that would be a pretty...
Yeah, Jason Trost that's just J-Tro.
J-Tro, sure.
I think they follow their names pretty closely.
I do kind of appreciate that this is basically a feature-length version of Overdrift.
Yes. I appreciate this.
Which is a work of art. So.
Yeah, well, I appreciate this because, again, it's a feature-length film that that is just so goddamn it's as if the 80s and the 90s and then the 2000s had Love Baby and they made this movie. Because, there are moments in the movie that are very 80s and tropes and things like that, but the language is definitely more modern in terms of that hip-hop and that vernacular.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's more of... It's like if they all had a baby, but it only inherited the eccentricities of each era.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because there's no way I can explain the FP without you. Like if you've like here's a question: how would you pitch this to somebody that hadn't seen the movie? Let's say, for example, we have some audience members that really want to get their friends to watch this movie, but they don't know how to explain it to them.
Ooh, well, first of all, you want your friends to see this?
I want my friends to see this. You kidding me? I've been trying to pitch the FP to like many of my friends, but I've never been able to like. I've told every one of my friends. I think my friend Mario is good with this movie, but I've tried to explain to everybody, every one of my friends, you've got to see the FP. You need to see the FP, and they just I don't think they quite understand when they look at the picture. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck is this film? And I have to, almost lead them into it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very specific thing where you have to know who you're recommending it to.
That's true.
Because not everybody's gonna get it. Once people get it, not everybody's gonna enjoy it. So you have to know your audience. But once you have that,
like Beatro was a DP.
Yeah. Once you have that, you just I don't know. I think I would probably just honestly say like go watch Overdrift if you kind of dig that thing, because that's a low investment. That's like 8-minute long video.
Yeah.
If you dig that, watch this. It's like that, but more of it and more extreme.
The way I would pitch it is...
And less dinosaurs.
Did you enjoy... If you enjoyed the era of the 80s and enjoy that kind of... Because like these shots here are very, very much the... again, they're very trope shots. And see, there you can say, I told you, Jason Trost wrote this. I was right. J-Tro wrote his own story.
Renaissance man.
Exactly. He's an auteur, as they say. Hey, both the brothers directed it, in fact. Because I knew it was something like that, where it was like a brother team that did this. It was both of them together.
Yeah.
The way I would say to pitch it to your friends, if you want to get people to watch it, is pick a cheesy 80s movie. Ask them if they liked it. Pick a typical 90s movie. Ask them if they liked it. In fact, ask them if they like Friday, and ask them if they like Commando. If both those come up with a yes, present them with the FP, and then make them watch the first 10 minutes. If after the 10 minutes they do not like it, then you can flip it off. Like basically, once you get to the late title card, like I think that's your make or break moment.
Yeah.
Because if you are not into it by the time he yells, "I will not play Beat Beat Revelation again," you're just not going to be in this movie at all.
Yeah, it's a very good litmus test for the rest of the film. And I think you wanna make sure that whoever's watching it, you have to say like, look, it's gonna be this thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna do whatever it wants without your approval,
and
you just have to embrace it.
Well, because
if you're gonna enjoy it, like fully enjoy it, embody the film, be the FP.
Yes. By the way, I'm actually watching this now again. I didn't. Does this feel like really well shot to you?
I mean, it feels. It's definitely competently shot.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like it feel like I actually enjoy some of these. Like maybe not this is the best cinematography quite yet. I mean, we're not in a cinematography kind of scene, but it's still like I'd forgotten how clearly it was shot. I mean, because this thing was, I think, shot digitally. I'm certain it was, but I guess it doesn't feel digital. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Here we come to the.
Yeah, there's definitely a pleasing aesthetic to a lot of the film.
See, what I was been trying to determine for the longest time is what era Fraser Park is in, like what year we exist in, because there's a whole slew of issues in this world. One of them is the idea of alcohol not being present or something like that.
Like sort of prohibition stuff?
They mentioned it here. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like they say like that like LWE's got like the 40s on lockdown or some shit like that. I think that's a Natty Light 40 in the
That's
back.
what it looks like.
That's amazing. I didn't even think they make Natty Lights in 40s. I didn't even think they make those in 40 fucking 40s.
Natty Light's the only beer I've ever bought.
I have never bought it. I'm not really.
And I bought it once for Brian at Nerdtacular.
Oh, is that well?
Yeah.
I've always heard that Natty Light is like just
Horrible.
horrible. Yes.
Yeah. I always heard that they always bought it because it was really cheap.
Yeah, that's why you
So-
buy it. That's why you buy anything. That's why, like, for a while, PBR was the drink because it was really cheap, but then fucking hipsters had to drink it. And then it's skyrocketed the price.
You gonna beat that drum, Roberto?
I don't care. I'm not a PBR guy. I'm not even a beer guy. I don't even give a damn. I don't that.
You're gonna go on your hipster hate speech tirade?
No, I can't. I can't consciously do that while I watch this movie because I think that would be. I love this fucking. I'm sorry. Can we?
It's an incredible photo.
I have a question. Let's say you were given a chance to take a photo like that.
Yeah.
What would be in that photo? See, here it is. The FP goes dry despite alcoholics turn to drugs. It's like there's like a after feature. Like what the like after your brother died, everything got and keep in mind Don's Liquor Mart under new management. By the way, all this happened in 1 year. I want to declare that. Because all that's passed between now and then was...
The darkness has come.
That's exactly goddamn drugs going straight edge right on the street. I knew that they're starting to match. No bumps.
I mean, I gotta give them props for that kind of story turn. That's great.
Have town ducks migrated? No ducks to feed. What the fuck? I remember it was such a ridiculous story. That fucking line. How is an Edward supposed to sort out shit with no ducks? This is a post Mighty Ducks 2.
Oh. Yeah.
That's what the Fraser Park is. This is like after the Mighty Ducks 3 and the ducks have gone away. This is actually an allegory. Beach. I so want to pause. Like, if we weren't watching this right now, and audience, you can go back and do this. I so want to pause on each one of those articles and try to read them.
Yeah, that might be fun.
Oh my god! But back to the question at hand. Let's say you did a picture like Beatro's, fighting picture, if you will. What would be in your shot like that? How would you be standing? What objects would you have on? Things like that.
Ooh. So I'll have to. I need to think about that.
Because I figure with mine, I would be standing, just staring up in the sky. I'd have my traditional Ness hat on, arms crossed, and in the background would be like laser beams. And a little bit of smoke, of course. So you can't have an 80s picture without smoke.
Yeah. So I would probably have it shot on like a cliffside.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
And then of course fog machine as well.
Right.
And I would be kneeling down on one knee, and then have my arm kind of resting on my knee that's up.
Gotcha.
And then, kind of like real strong man pose.
Right.
And then in my other hand, I would be holding an officially licensed Windjammer flying disc.
Okay. We figured out how we do it.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I remember there was that like BS story. That's what I love about this movie is that it said all of that story we just heard straight.
Yeah. It set stakes in a very appropriate to this universe kind of way.
Yeah. Because that's basically what I'm trying to figure out is what year we're in, what world we're in for Fraser Park. Because they don't really necessarily explain that it's like, the not so distant future or the, it is modern era or whatever. Yeah. All we know is that there is no liquor and everyone's turning to meth.
I definitely feel like it's an alternate parallel universe set in like 30 years,
I don't know,
20 years.
Maybe it's set in 2003.
Yeah, the far off, distant future of 2000.
2003. Exactly. I wish it would be explained why J-Tro has an eye patch. That's my only thing I want to know about.
I dig that it's not explained.
I dig it too because it's such a like, why the fuck's he got an eye patch? I mean, it doesn't matter. J-Tro's got a lot of better accoutrements, so to speak, than the eye patch. Like, I think my favorite is still the light up belt buckle, or the sign belt buckle, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the classic tricks of character development is give them a deformity,
Play it cool.
and then don't explain it, and it provides an some sort of implied backstory.
How did he get alcohol? Apparently the mark's supposed to be under new management. It's supposed to have been like dry, but somehow he got alcohol.
Hey, don't ask questions.
Oh,
This is the FP.
that's
Anything
true.
goes in the FP.
That's very true. All right, here comes some knowledge time.
Ooh.
What is your favorite cheesy movie? You can pick an era if you have to. You have to, it'd say, well, it's 80s this one, if it's 90s this one, 2000s this one, or you can just flat out say it.
Can you toss me some examples?
Some examples of cheesy movies I would say are Troll 2 would be, I think, a cheesy movie.
Never saw it.
Trying to think of really, because I would say Commandos was a cheesy movie as well. I would say anything that is of its era. Because even at times, even though we did the movie already, even at times the Mighty Ducks is somewhat cheesy.
Sure.
By the way, I think we got this LWE, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Play cool, kids are back in school.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a question
Like, for me,
that
it's-
I'm not
it's-
equipped to handle.
The fuck is that double track? LWE may be my favorite villain.
Yeah, he's pretty endearing in his own right, I suppose.
There's a Corona light. Like, I see. I'm looking in the background now. J-Tro's DC. Yeah, man. Again, I love the idea of this.
Is there like a supercut of just all of the absurd names?
Oh, I hope there is. There it is.
Because they have a real talent for that.
That's how he rolls, all mysterious and shit. I love that BLT is the mystical, magical character. It's so ridiculous. They've banned the machines.
Never again.
Never again, because apparently having this be the competition can't be done while LWE's there.
Shit got too real.
It did. Someone died.
No. Someone got 187.
Yeah, in Omega Gangsta mode.
Get it straight, Roberto.
By the way, there's a titty.
That's true.
Just figure we should... Oh, there's two titties now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Trost brothers, they could write a master class on dialogue.
Because yes, for sure. Well, again, it's like really this movie speaks for itself. That's all I can really say about right now, because this is like we're not even like I'm getting sucked into the dialogue of LWE because of how epic awesome it is, because it's such a I so wish that like there it is. You just welcome back to the FP, bitch.
Yeah, it's just really impressive how knowing.
Two, this is also very classic trope, flashing back and wondering how you got there.
Yeah, he is kind of a mystical figure.
I love him for that, because like there's a point when after we get beyond like this that we go to the montage, which I was like, when it happened I lost my shit, where he starts training, obviously like every good 80s movie should have a montage
Is he
scene.
ghostwriting?
Of course he is. Why would he be ghost riding the whip?
Sure.
See,
Yeah.
he said he was. You don't fuck with him while he's ghost riding. All right. So let's say that you're in the FP.
I am in the FP. Okay.
Do you challenge LWE for supremacy, or do you roll with his crew?
Am I assuming the role of any particular character in the film?
You're the new guy to the FP. You in fact have come from a mystical magical land known as the FW, the DFW, if you will.
The TFW. All right.
You had ventured into the FP unaware of the social normities and things like that, and you've encountered LWE on a kind of a bad symbol. He's giving you a chance because he sees you're new. You have a choice to either join his team, run with that dog, so to speak, or challenge his position. You're not necessarily, not saying you're not a main character, but you're you.
Where in the timeline am I coming in?
You are actually between the 1 year point, before the events of the FP, where it says like the 1 year after, you're in that 1 year after point. Before LWE has taken over the here it is. I'm sorry.
After the infamous 187, but previous to now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would probably... I mean, knowing me, I would just avoid most of it. I couldn't see myself falling into his posse, his crew.
Right.
But I don't know that I would feel incensed enough to challenge him and take him to the court, so to speak.
Right. I love this idea, by the way.
What idea?
The idea of the hidden bunker for the revolution of the 248. Because I love the whole mysticism behind it. That this is the headquarters for the 248.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea.
For the ducks, be. Here, this I lost my ever loving shit over. Was this point? Was the whole montage sequence? I love this. I lost everything because it was just such a it was so like montagey, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to see them adopt that for beat.
Yeah. Two, I like the fact that J-Tro can't live inside because he hasn't earned it yet. Oh, bitch. It's Pedro. And I love the idea of just like that, beat stands for something: balance, expedition, aggression. Two, I want a punching bag like that. I think if I had a punching bag like that, that would make me want to like actually punch more. Oh, that was a.
I only just barely saw the punching bag. What was the deal with
as
it?
you punched it, depending on how forceful you punch it, say things like chump, pussy, bitch,
Gotcha,
and things like that. That and the music's fucking stellar.
Yeah, it's very appropriate.
Oh yeah, no,
That's for sure.
Like again, it's DDR. So I wonder if there's any Easter eggs hidden in that scene.
For just like random stuff thrown in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. I mean, some set designer was probably like, "Hey, this is this fun little thing that I put in there."
I like how your set designer voice is the Red Letter Media voice.
Yeah, Mr. Plinkett was
exactly
on set.
Like that's your set designer is Mr. Plinkett. That's on the love zone.
Let's put up jack-o'-lantern over here.
Oh, look, we'll put this piece of shit over there.
What is wrong with your face?
All right, here it goes. This thrift store. Maybe we could tell what year it is. We got PC, CRT monitors. This is a weird thrift store. Thrift store. Nothing really seems to be organized in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, not really.
It's just like whatever they had, they kind of threw in there.
Yeah, Mr. Plinkett he was not exactly known for his organization skills.
Nope, not at all. So I've never actually bought anything from a thrift store.
Me neither.
Have you ever been inside a thrift store?
I don't think so.
Because I think the closest I've ever been to is like a Goodwill. But I don't even count that.
I've been to a Goodwill once.
I've almost bought something at a Goodwill, but I just never. There's never been anything. Like a lot of my friends would always go to Goodwill Computing to get like cables and shit like that, but I would for some reason ignore it. I'm nothing against it. Just I would always have like I don't really need a PS2 adapter.
So what you're saying is you hate the Goodwill?
No,
you hate everything it stands for.
I think it's a terrible trade. No, BLT's at HQ.
Do you know where they shot this?
Where did they shoot this?
Yeah.
I don't know where they shot it. I think they actually shot in Cali.
Huh.
We have to look it up and find out.
It's they got some nice locations.
No, that's one thing I was gonna say. Yeah, they have a lot of really cool kind of areas they got. When they have their set designs, it is pretty damn good. Just because the idea behind it all and the world we live in and how they flesh it out, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. There's a certain dedication to the craft.
Pretty much. Because look at this. They kept them. I'm not even gonna lie. I would feel playing DDR in those shoes would like totally. From your bio tab. Now, okay, here comes a more ridiculous thing. That means his biological father, shoots up in the FP, I guess. His biological father had to play Beat Revelation.
Yeah, I mean, family tradition.
But yeah, honestly, I would feel wearing those boots would make DDR a lot worse.
Yeah. I feel like you would lose a certain precision in your game.
Yes, a high amount of precision. This is worth it. Oh.
I don't remember this at all.
I remember this totally. I remember exactly what he does. He's stealing the liquor. It ain't about pay. I just love the idea of them stealing alcohol because they got to pay the cost as opposed to paying for the alcohol. The black dick. So I don't think I have any drug stories, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a funny story a friend of mine once told me.
Go for it.
So one of my friends, I won't say who because he's, he does stuff that probably it'd come back to him. He says,
President Barack Obama.
Yes.
Close personal friend.
Totally close personal friend of the show. He was at a college party, right? And my friend
Allegedly.
My friend has partakes of some of the herbs, so to speak.
Recreations.
And that's basically about the limit he has. So he's at this party, and he's kind of walking around, and he looks into one of the rooms, and he sees this kind of black tarry substance.
Mm-hmm.
People are smoking, and he realizes that at the party he was at, they were smoking opium.
Huh.
Like Chase the White Dragon,
Yeah.
Classic opium.
That's unexpected.
Yeah, it was sort of the weirdest thing for him because he'd be like, what the fuck, opium? At least that's what he thought it was. It might have been something else in hindsight, but it doesn't really matter. Does that say Tro on it?
Where?
I for some reason, I thought the sign says... That might actually be J-Tro's thing because I thought it said Tro on there. Maybe in the 187, the one whatever we are, the 184, they have those kind of signage.
So is that the end of the story? Did he not? Was he?
Oh
just
no,
like,
he didn't partake of it.
Oh, that's weird. All right. Well,
that's pretty
I'm
much
going
it.
Okay.
Well, here's the question: do you have any weird drug related stories? I'm not saying that you've done drugs per se, but do you have any even tangentially related stories like that?
No, I mean, I lived with people who took recreational use of drugs pretty frequently.
Have we ever gotten you to talk to talk about like the fish and spoon story?
No, not in a recorded sense, at least.
Do you want to
Sure. I mean, that's a weird story.
That's why I think it's a very weird story, and I'd love to hear it recorded someplace.
I mean, all of the stories with those guys are weird. So I lived with two guys that I was matched up with my apartment complex, because it's a place that's fully furnished, and it's like, hey, if you're going to this college next door, why don't you live here? And it's super cheap, so it's like, sure.
Right, totally.
And so I'm living with these two guys, and they smoke like all the time, every day. And I remember, man, it's been a while since I told this story. So just weird things happen. You know, sometimes you come home and there's like 20 trash bags that did not exist 5 hours ago. And sometimes you come back and there's like insane furniture all over the place. And just weird things happen. You kind of, you grow to lose expectations of some kind of consistent normalcy around the house. And so one day I come home and there's this plastic bag on the countertop, and I didn't think much of it. I was just like, well, that's okay. There's a thing there. That's fine. And so I went to my room and I just kind of hung out, watched movies, did whatever. And after like 5 or 6 hours, it just kind of ate away at me. I was like, what's in that bag? And so I go out into the living room and I look at it, and there's just a fishbowl with like fish in it. And it seemed really weird, and I didn't anticipate there being a fishbowl in our living room. And neither of my roommates really seemed like fish people necessarily.
Right.
Whatever that may be. And so I just thought that was kind of a strange thing that happened. And a few days went by, and the fishbowl was still there in the bag, like untouched. And I come home one day and the fishbowl is there, and I hear one of my roommates, Carl. He's kind of rummaging around, like in his room or something, and I go over and talk to him, and I'm like, "Hey, Carl, so that fish, like, is that yours?" And he's like, "Are you serious? You mean that's not yours?" Like, Asher and I were talking. We totally thought that was your fish. So I'm like, well, whose fish is this? Why do we have a fish in our living room?
Exactly.
Nobody knew. So they used to have a lot of people over, you know, from time to time. And apparently what happened, someone came over with their fish bowl. They thought it would be a real good idea to bring over their fish, you know, just walk in the fish as you do.
Of course.
And then they just left it in our apartment.
Oh my god.
And then went away. and then Carl was like, he was really kind of in disbelief that it wasn't actually my fish. And so once I kind of talked him off the ledge and said, like, no, yeah, seriously, it's not my fish. I don't own a fish. He was like, I'm going to keep this fish.
Of course.
And so he kept the fish, and he took care of it for the rest of the time we lived together.
I love the idea of a fish comes out, they think it's yours, and then you have to just fervently deny, like, that's not my fish. Why would I buy a fish?
Right.
But that's not my favorite one. My favorite one still with you is the spoons. Like, one day you just came back and all your spoons were... was it spoons or just silverware?
It was all of my eating utensils.
That's what it was.
Had disappeared. That's a much quicker story.
It is.
I came home. They were all gone. I was like, well, that's bad. And then I talked to one of the dudes, and I was like, hey, where is all of my stuff? And he was like, I don't know, man. And that's it.
I love how 248 HQ has, like, every bit of, like, medical thing it needs to track stuff.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
It is. I'm sorry.
Oh
I just saw the heart meter
Yeah.
for the first time.
Me too.
Oh my god, that's the first time I've seen the heart meter in this entire movie and actually noticed how fucking ridiculous it was.
Advanced technologies.
Well, it had some text on it saying, like, negative on there, and I want to know what the hell it said, but by the time we cut back to it, it was the fucking heartbeat monitor. The beat revelation monitor. 2, by the way, we totally missed Jatro tripping and like fucking rocking out and still taking down beat revelation. But it's okay. We got to hear the fish story, which I'm happy that was recorded.
Yeah.
Because when you told me that story, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? You got a fish just magically?" Because that was like one of the first stories you told me when we met, when we were just kind of hanging out, was the idea that you had these like crazy fucking, like, I love the idea that you had these sort of stoner roommates.
It was weird.
That would just do random silly things.
It was a weird experience for sure.
Well,
I'm glad I had that story.
Oh yeah, it's a story. It's a great go-to story.
I'm far gladder that I don't still live with them.
Oh,
but
course.
I'm glad I have that story.
Well, it's a good story to have. It's always good to have a sleep one. See here, there it goes. It says
Scorpion sting, definitive toe alignment, something
like that.
So it's giving him a health breakdown.
Exactly. I love the idea.
It's basically VATS for real life,
basically. Now, what are they? I know they're just you know, shit's OG. Because someone spiked your beer with meth. You all now have guns.
Believe that.
I love that what I love about this movie is how quickly it escalates.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering if that almost, like, I don't really remember most of the rest of the movie, but
right.
I'm almost wondering if just my impression is that if bringing in firearms is almost too close to real life, if there wasn't like some way that they could have even further escalated the risks in a more universe appropriate weird
I'll agree
way.
with you there, because for sure near the end of the film they have the shootout, and I felt that was like really, and I was really kind of sad that that's what it was, because I liked the idea of it being this world where you played beat revelation to defend against things.
Yeah.
And I wanted more of that world where that was the fighting thing, because them having guns, just like, really, that's a little too close to reality. You guys had a real magical thing with this. You don't need to add guns to it, you know?
Yeah, there's such a fantastical, interesting, creative universe and world that they've developed, and it's like, if you can do anything, if you can have somebody die from a beat revolution match, then like there should be some really crazy, like, unpredictable, weird way for these gang fights, more or less, you know?
That's what I'm saying, because like the minute it brings in the guns, like, oh, now we're just in the normal real world, and I'm really sad about that, because it was so funnier to be in this world where liquor is preventing ducks from coming here because of the no bums, and all this was all this predicated on Jatro, leaving as Jatro lost beat revelation and got 187'd.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, when he doesn't get his booze, he turns to drugs. I gotta need LWE to get booze. The idea that he has to keep.
Yeah, and maybe it's this weird thing where, like, they have these elements from real life that they treat very differently than most people treat these elements. So like the game, they treat very differently. You know, even the beer, they treat very differently. It's a life sustenance.
Exactly.
Kind of
thing. It is in fact the thing that needs to happen, because if you don't get your fix, you're going to turn to meth, which I guess is what happens in the Fraser Park.
And drugs, they even treat a little bit differently.
That's true.
Just in that it's like this inevitable thing. But yeah, the guns, they treat not all that differently. Here lies Jatro.
I forgot I didn't get the bottom part of it, but I love the fact that one of the candles is a 40. There it is, Betro back to montage mode. Or Jtro back to montage mode, I should say. Betro and Jtro. What would your FP name be? I think mine would be RV Gangsta.
RV Gangsta?
I couldn't come up with one fast enough.
I think that's a little too long.
I think it's a little too long, too.
You gotta have some really concise.
Because, like, my initials are
thing.
RJV. Oh, they're fucking vomiting. What the fuck are they doing? I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They're training,
Hey,
obviously.
legit. You see, legit. You see,
Legit.
That's what it says. If it's successful, it's legit. And so fucking ridiculous. Jtro is ready. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Because the question goes. Let's see. We've got BLT. We've got LWE. We got Jtro, Betro, and
KCDC.
KCDC. Now Jtro and Betro are Brandon Trost and Jason Trost,
yeah,
respectively. So it's that. So I guess it'd be what? Argas, maybe? For me? Because Viegas is my last name. And R is my first name. So I maybe. See, the thing is, I guess BLT is not. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Explains a lot.
Explains a lot, for sure. Explains everything. I forgot that I was electrified. I didn't think I... Owned. You don't deserve this. Yeah, I'll go with Argas for now until I figure something better out later.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's something that needs its own attention.
Well, because BLT is not explained. Like LWE obviously is Lee, which is the actor's name. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're their initial of the actors, and that's how you do it.
Maybe. I mean, it definitely factors into a good handful of their names.
Oh, sucking stallion.
Let's see. Brandt.
I mean, because B-Dog is the obvious.
Yeah, B-Dog could work. Maybe BMO. Just call me BMO.
Are you voiced by a Korean woman?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel yourself that you are in fact a video game console portable?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
And then lastly, do you feel that you need to sing the BMO is pregnant song every so often?
BMO.
I love BMO, by the way.
BMO is like the best.
BMO is the best. BMO is not like the best. BMO is in fact the best. BMO chop.
BMO is definitely among the best.
If BMO was in the FP, I think BMO would be a god.
Oh my god. Could you imagine?
Yes.
BMO is all like walking down the street like this, like LWE ain't shit.
I would love to see the Adventure Time FP crossover movie.
Man, that would be weird.
That would be a trip.
I could see it though.
I would love to see the FP. I think I'd like to see the FP crossover with everything. And here he comes.
Just extend the FP universe into all other fictional universes.
Yes. Are you kidding me?
It is the one to link them all.
Well, like I said, if there is a real beat revelation, that's all we need. All we need is beat revelation in everything, and then we're fine. Chump. Oh, look, he's got his own picture like that, too. When do you think he had time to take that picture?
Well, I imagine they all took that picture around the same time, right?
Oh, and they just have it whenever they need it.
Yeah, because I mean it's the same location for Btro and Jtro and LWE.
That's very true.
So they probably all lined up like you do for your school pictures in like middle school. And they're like, all right, come into frame. All right, a little to the left. All right, now just move your head. All right.
Look quizzical.
Yeah. All right, fog machine. Come on. All right, hold it. All right, good.
They all went to glamour shots together.
Yeah.
That was during the early days when.
All right, thanks, Jtro. LWE, come on.
I so want a picture like that. I so want to take a picture like that. I just don't know how to.
And then get like full poster size.
I just don't know how you. First off, how do you find the person to take that picture? That's the question.
I mean, any self-respecting photographer should be capable
Brandt,
of that.
I think we found our future money service.
Yeah. So, mail us at Roberto's house.
Yes.
In Austin, Texas. And we'll get you set up.
It will get you set up. Brandt will take the pictures. It'll be a project he will so desperately want to have his name attached to.
Yeah. I'm going to kickstart it. And $500,000. And we got it. That's what we need for the studio space.
All we need is for $500,000 so we can buy the smoke machine, the cameras.
Yeah, you know, fog machines, a lot of people don't know how expensive those are. $350,000.
Are they seriously that much?
No.
Okay. I know they're not that pricey, but they're kind of pricey. They're in the thousands for sure.
I mean, it depends.
But we need for that. We definitely need to go get the backgrounds, because those aren't computer. Those aren't put in post. Those are real shots.
Right. Yeah.
Get those backgrounds.
You have to have an authentic experience.
Exactly. Fucking right on the beat revelation machine. Uh-oh. LWE's starting something.
Oh man, this is just like Brick. There's that scene in Brick where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in the payphone.
Oh, is it?
Thing. Yeah. I mean, not exactly like it, but it does remind me.
I love that there's been no...
So is this before the rise of cell phones?
I don't... This world, maybe, because, I mean, cell phones have...
This is just a weird timeline where cell phones weren't invented.
Like I said, we're in a very strange place in the FP because cell phones have in the time this came out in existence, cell phones did exist. DDR has been around for a while, but this definitely came out during the time of cell phones. I think it might be like a 2010 movie or.
No, I'm not saying. Was this shot in the 70s, Roberto? I do understand.
Okay, I hope you do you understand that movies? I'm just kidding. I don't know if you know how movies are produced.
There's this thing where they can present things on the film, and they're not actually real life. There's a bias.
This movie, like I said, the FP exists in a very strange universe.
Yeah, maybe it's just a timeline where cell phones and internet weren't invented or weren't as so highly regarded as they are for us.
Why does LWE now have an eye patch? I don't mean to question LWE's attire, but why does he have an eye patch? There he goes.
I think it was symbolic.
Yeah. I want to have Casey DC sing every anthem. I'm sorry.
What a weird movie, man.
And the crib of the fucking... Can we have that be the new version of the national anthem?
Maybe. I thought the first half of that song was pretty effective. The second half kind of dragged on.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's the anthem.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool how it effectively acted as that filmmaking technique where they kind of mute out all the audio into a certain ambient tone, and then
that's true.
You get that dramatic mix of shots.
It's all right. We're in the action now. We're in beat land.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Double smack.
Oh snap.
Slam. I love the... Actually, to be honest, I really dig the Dance Dance Revolution announcer for sure. Like that Dr. Bitch.
You know what? My name probably... I mean, it would be B-Dog to the people close to me, but everyone else would call me BHD.
BHD?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Because I'm Brandt, but I got the smarts.
Dance with your mind, not with your feet.
Beat dog.
No, it's B-E-A-T, dog. Because that stands for something.
It used to stand for something, Roberto.
That's true. Now here comes the next question.
Mm-hmm.
BHD, if you will.
Yeah.
What
up?
What's your style going to be? What's going to be things you're going to have on you to be BHD? Like, for example, LWE has his grill done.
Sure, yeah.
J-Tro's got the eye patch and the big giant,
bandana.
The gangsta, the beat gangsta beat shoes, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking love they're playing DDR. And this is the ridiculousness of it all.
What are some cool, weird things? I would definitely have a cowl.
Okay.
right? And then I don't know. What are some other weird things?
I would probably have a trench coat.
Interesting choice.
Because why not? Because I don't get to wear a trench coat often.
Yeah.
I would definitely have a fedora.
Ooh. All right.
But I would essentially take the Dobbler, if you will, and have like the tie and like a stupid, normal shirt on. Let my baby win. Jump, champ. Yeah, J-Tro wins. Also, I like how the game knows their names, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's loaded into the cloud, right? So they've all got their profiles.
This is true.
Connect, recognize their face, and automatically log them in.
Come on, go Omega Gangsta mode. The ridiculousness of it again. What the fuck? What the fuck does that do? This is what I love about the game. Is like, what does that mode do special? They don't really explain it. They just kind of go like, round 3, cage match.
And then everyone's like, well, that's a big deal.
Yeah, like, oh shit, it's a cage match, son. Like Omega Gangsta mode, like all these different modes that unlock. Like I want, I want to have developers make this game, and I want them to explain what each one of those modifiers do. Like when it's a cage match, what point value multiplier there is, or things like that.
That sounds like maybe a Ludum Dare kind of thing. But I don't know if that would really prosper much out as its own experience.
Well, no. Like when I say that, I mean just add it, just to again, because I love the game. I love that the game within the movie does that. Like that it has these ridiculous things like cage match and 187.
Yeah.
Like this is where it should have ended right here, Like it should have ended like right where, with LWE getting his ass handed to him in Beat Revelation. Like that, I was expecting it to end here, and then when it goes into the whole next part, like that's where I said that. Okay, that's it. That was where I drew the line right then. Well, LWE didn't get 187. He's still alive.
Well, maybe 187 means something else.
What do you know what 187 means?
No.
So, whenever it comes to a cop getting shot,
Yeah.
And is shot dead, 187's the alarm they say.
Gotcha.
It's 187 on an undercover cop. If you ever hear the Snoop D-O-double-G song, say like, look right here.
Oh
It
shit.
Speaking of oh shit,
Yeah.
everyone freaks the fuck out. Like right there, like right here, just like this is where I lost it in the world.
Although if they all had slingshots, maybe then
That would have been better. That would have been far better.
that would have been pretty funny.
If they had just slingshots, but like right here is just like, it's like this is it. This is ridiculous. Like I think they just wanted to have gunshots. Like that's all they wanted to have.
Probably.
Look at the cover too. How the fuck did they miss?
It's a really strong toilet.
It's cast iron,
Oh, yeah.
It's not porcelain.
Got to go for the premium, you know?
Exactly. Did he just talk into his hand like it was a microphone?
Yes, he did.
I just want to make sure we were. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot about the explosion. I take it back. I think it's all worth it for that explosion alone. There must have been meth in there or something. There must have been cooking in there. That was Walter White's first RV.
Sure, yeah.
LWE, we need to cook. Yo, dog, why we gotta cook?
Yo, dog, shit, it sounds like you're Breaking Bad.
That's the crossover I want to see next. The FP and Breaking Bad. Heisenberg and LWE.
They would just call him the Berg.
Yep. No, they'd call him H Berg.
No, I don't think that.
I think they
tracks.
would call him. I think they'd call him. They'd probably call him the Doc, or PhD.
Maybe. So yeah, I think if they found a really kind of clever way to explain why LWE survived, and then if they had the same kind of stuff but not specifically guns.
Yes.
If they had some other kind of interesting kind of weaponry, then I think it probably would have played a little bit better for me.
I agree. Same here, because like that, like this point here is just for me is just where it really. I mean, thankfully it's near the end of the movie anyway, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But this is where it really loses steam. Drop that candy. Because ultimately they just wanted this fight scene and that kind of thing. I was like, no, what made this movie glorious was having it be, all these sort of bullshit gangster stuff, gang stuff would be settled in the FP.
Yeah.
To notice, KCDC does in fact have a car phone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was so like at this point, I'm still at the point now like that. I was like, oh man, this was so great, and now we're just in a normal movie.
Yeah, it's kind of cool having the idea that this is a culture that's transcended violence in such a way that they've replaced it with weird non-violent activities that still kill people.
Exactly. That's what I loved about it, that idea about it, that we had this world like that. But
it's just so bizarre and unique.
And now, because I think he takes a... Never ignorant in getting goals accomplished.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know what that means, but it just means that he's not ignorant. He gets goals accomplished. he look. J-Tro is a very goal-oriented person. He wants to get the chick. He wants to avenge his brother, and he wants to have the alcohol free flowing so the ducks can come back.
The ducks. Huh.
Does that make any sense to you?
That was the best part of the fight.
That was. By the way, it's over. Who gets the liquor mine? The idea again. See, like had it ended at that point with that one, like who gets the liquor mine? The FP does.
The liquor mine.
Oh, the FP.
Can we just get a KCDC spinoff?
Yeah, I would like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
I would like a spin-off of a lot of these characters. I would love to have the future exploits of the FP be like an ongoing series somehow. Like a web series or anything. Because I'd imagine the budget on this is pretty low.
Relatively, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have the two writers working as actors, so that's... I'm still laughing at the audacity of the bums not feeding the ducks, and that's why the ducks have left.
Yeah, it's a pretty inspired plot development, for sure.
And of course, we end with a blowjob. Because that's what this movie would end with, is a blowjob. As opposed to a kiss or anything like that, it would end with a blowjob. Oh, the FP. How I love everything you are. Look, the ducks are back. And they're in a V formation.
What a weird movie, man.
Oh, there's no way you can make this any... By the way, if you listen closely, it's being sung in his Japanese song. Because, of course, Beat Revelation is a... Well, you already know what it is.
Yeah. So that's the FP.
That is the FP. It's definitely a movie that you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch, I think.
Sure, yeah.
And two, you have to almost go in it understanding that this is the movie you're going to see. Or be like Brandt and go completely cold and then go, am I strong enough to go through this?
Pretty much.
Am I in the right mindset to to pummel through this? Not in a bad way, just because if you're not prepared for this,
you have to be able to handle what it has to offer.
Well, because there's so much it has to offer. But all of it is in its own world. And that. Well, Brandt, we've hit the end of it. Another episode, another recording.
Woo!
Brandt, tell people they can find you online, sir.
Yo, you can check me out on Twitter at Gatowag, Gatowag, or search for my name, Brandt Hughes. You can find me. Of
course, you can find me. I'm at Vincent404 on the Twitters. You want to talk about your experience with the FP, maybe talk about other kind of weird offbeat movies, go to our website, CosmicRadio.TV/Cinematalkraphy. There you'll find links to show notes, previous episodes, and, of course, all the social accounts and anything else about this show of ours, and other shows in the network, such as Retro Fun Time.
Yep, that's one of them.
That is one of them. That is, in fact, the most video one of them, for sure.
Yeah.
And, of course, we have our social account there on the Twitters, at Cinematalkraphy.
Yep.
And if you want to email us, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what movies you want us to watch. Maybe just give us, kind of your thoughts on things.
Or just say hi.
Email us at cinematography@gmail.com.
Yep.
So that's it for today. So tune in next time. Ta-ta.
BHD out.
Beat Revelation.
What?
2001 to 2011. I'm talking about 2001.
This is their response to September 11th.